Patrick, question.
So I'm the rural economic development guy, and we certainly look at physical infrastructure as one of the key building blocks of economic development. Transportation is a big piece of that physical infrastructure piece. I'd love your perspective. You know, we're both very rural states, North and South Carolina, a lot of vibrant, growing cities that are surrounded by rural areas. The transportation needs in rural areas are different than those in urban areas. You know, we struggle really with the planning part and trying to get projects through to funding and then ultimately through to completion, because just by definition of being rural, one of the things we struggle with is having the capacity, human resource and financial and otherwise, to be able to you know, aggressively develop projects and plan for them. And I wonder if you found, what's your perspective of that, and have you found unique ways that rural communities are able to get their priorities addressed?
Sure. So, you know, certainly in South Carolina, we've been working on our 10-year plan. So that started under former Secretary Hall. It really came after the 2017 roads bill was passed by the General Assembly that dramatically increased the state funding that came into DOT. I'll share a couple things that we've been doing on supporting rural communities. First and foremost, our interstate capacity program that we have. So we talk a lot about Malfunction Junction in Columbia, the 526 project in Charleston, but a couple key projects going on right now are widening I-26 between Columbia and Charleston. Tremendous volume of traffic, but a very rural area that we have routine breakdowns on the interstate there. Same thing happening on I-95. We really had to look at it a little bit differently than we normally do. That we had to look at the truck volume as opposed to the car volume coming through to see that we needed to do that. A second really big thing we've been doing has been trying to tackle, South Carolina has the unfortunate distinction of having the nation's worst rural road fatality rate. And so actually when that 2017 roads bill was passed, the General Assembly actually required us to put $50 million per year specifically for rural road safety projects. So we have gotten over 1,100 miles of projects across South Carolina, all in our rural areas, really to start bringing those numbers down. And we're seeing the results from it. So we've gotten, on those projects that have been completed, we've seen a 20% reduction in the fatalities that occur on those roads. So a tremendous progress there. And then a third, we do a lot with metropolitan planning organizations in our urban areas, but we have council of governments that represent the interests of our rural areas. And so we've, following passage of the federal infrastructure bill a few years ago, we've increased the amount of money that we're going to that. And one of the things that we were committed to was making sure that there was a minimum amount that every region got of $5 million per year that they could invest in needs, not only just what Charleston and Greenville need, but making sure that Abbeville and Bamberg got attention as well.